Well, now we are discussing about the idea of law. Okay, the idea of law. Sometimes some authors um, wrote it is the ends of law, but I think it is not the ends of law or the purpose of law. No, it is the idea of law. Why law is created? Why law is created? It is the in philosophical term, it is an ontological basis for the existence of law in society. Okay. Sorry. You know the scale. This is the scale, the image of scale. You know, scale to weigh about the guilty or not guilty. Moral as a legal foundation. Well, I begin with the moral as a legal foundation. He is German, Gustav Radbruch, but Beethoven, Mozart, Johann Strauss are Austrian, but this one is German. Hans Kelsen is not German. He is an Austrian. But Austrian speaks German, of course. Okay. Austrian speaks German. Like Mexican speaks speaks Spanish. As autumn use a justitia sicut amatre sua ergo prius frut justitia quam jus. Sikut is not left elbow, you know. In Japanese, sikut is elbow. Elbow, this one. This is Latin. Perhaps you ask me, why a German speaks Latin? You know, Latin like Sanskrit in Indonesia. You know, our coat of arms is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. It is Latin. Like in the United States, E pluribus unum. But the Netherlands coat of arms is in France. And I asked the Dutch, why your coat of arms is in France? He told me that at the time, the Netherlands was colonized by France. So, well, I translated it into Dutch. Does it mean ik zal handhaven, I shall defend? Oh yes. So, it is France. You know, like Sanskrit in Indonesia, in Latin is also not only lingua franca, but also something like scientific language or philosophical language. Sorry. You know, if you study botany, you know botany, biology. There are many Latin words for plants. Graminae, for example. Graminae, you know graminae? Rice is a member of Graminae family. Rice, bamboo tree, you know, cane, you know, cane for sugar, cane, rice, grass, rice, grass, bamboo tree, cane. They are members of Graminae family. Graminae is Latin. Palme, you know palme? Palme, coconut tree. Coconut tree. Pal, yeah, palm also. Palm. And there are many others are palme. Okay, it's Latin. So as autumn, use a justicia autumn, other, sicut a matre, you know, alma mater. Matre means mother. So I go prius. Okay. I strengthen it this way. But law is derived from justice. Law derived from justice as if it is born out of its mother. Justice, therefore, precedes law. Justice, therefore, precedes law. So, don't take on the other way around. Sometimes they think that because of law, there's justice. No, not that way. Not that way. Law is derived from justice. Like you are born by your mother. Not your mother is born by you. No. It's not that way. I was born by my mother. Okay. So law is a child of justice, not the other way around. The law is derived from justice as if it is born out of its mother. Justice, therefore, precedes law. Okay. Alpian. He is Latin. Sorry. He is Roman. He is Roman. Justitia es perpetua et constans voluntas jus sumquique tribuendi. Justitia, justice, as is, perpetua, perpetuate. Perpetuate means continue, continually, at constant, voluntas, voluntary, some quick, each, tribuendi, to give, to distribute, tribuendi. So from these Latin words, come English words. Justice is the constant and perpetual will, voluntas means voluntary will, to allot to everyone his right. Justice is the constant and perpetual will to allot to everyone his right. I have to drink. Did you hear the song? I'm hurting, just like a Jesus. Hey, now, what is the essence of justice? I don't give you a definition of justice. It is difficult to define, but it is the essence of justice. Based on humans' moral. Justice is based on humans' moral. So, as I told you yesterday of the day before yesterday, that even an atheist has conscience. Still remember that? Even an atheist has conscience. He has moral. Aristotle. Naturally, human being strives for a certain purpose, in that to get happiness. Naturally, human being strives for a certain purpose, in that to get happiness. Do you want to be happy? Who doesn't want to be happy? Please raise your hand. And I bring you to the psych hospital that is close to my house. Psych hospital at Jalan Menur, psych hospital. It is close to my house. I'm at Klamis Harapan, Wisma Mukti. And this house is close to psych hospital. And also close to Kaputi Cemetery. And also close to many universities. It depends on what one wants. If he's a little bit, what I say, unstable, he can go to psycho hospital. Okay. If you don't want to be happy, I bring you there. Naturally, human beings strive for a certain purpose, in that to get happiness. But what type of happiness, what kind of happiness does everybody want? It depends on the person, him or herself. For example, a gay, gay, a gay, LGBT, a gay, perhaps gay may find happiness if he is in love with the same gender, gay, perhaps. My good friend, he was a teaching staff of social and political faculty at Erlangga University, Dr. Dede Utomo. He's my close friend. He's a good man. He's gay. And he declared to me, Mas, this is my happiness to get along with the same gender. And declare himself as a gay. I asked him, Dave, why can you be like that? Well, when my mom wanted to have a daughter, but she doesn't have a daughter, and my mom dressed me with a girl sweet girl clothes. So, and they feels happy to be a gay. Should he be discriminated? No. We have to honor his right, and he feels happy to be in love with the same gender. Well, I don't know what they conduct sexual intercourse. Well, in my mind, well, I just kidding with Didi. Hey, are you fencing? You know fencing? Are you fencing? And he told me, wah, ya enggak lah mas, are you fencing? Well, you know fencing. This is my kidding with my colleague. It's now I think he's still a lecturer, doctor. He's a doctor of political science from um from Ithaca Cornell University. He's smart. He's very smart. But his choice to be a gay, okay, no problem. His choice, his choice to be a gay. He's graduated from Cornell University. He got his master's degree and PhD from Cornell University at Ithaca, New York. He's smart. And well, he's a critics. Happiness may be reached by human being by his or her nature. The nature of human being is social being based on love and the desire of togetherness, which results in associative and cooperative existence. As I've told you several times, I guess, that there is no solitary human being. It is not found that human being lives solitary. No. We are living in togetherness. Please be careful. Don't say, well, we are living together. It's different. We are living in togetherness. You know, living together has a a bad connotation. This guy and this woman live together. You mean what? Live together outside marriage. But we are living in togetherness. It's different. Please, if you speak English, you have to know how to use, sorry, how to speak the word properly. For example, I tell you, if you are in the United States, if you find, or if perhaps you are a visitor or you guest of the family in the United States, and then the host shows you something, and the thing perhaps it's not expensive. Don't say it's cheap, because it is unacceptable to say cheap. So what? Inexpensive. Well, it is inexpensive, but don't say cheap. Okay? If you go to the Netherlands, don't do this. What does it mean? If you talk with someone and the one who is talking with you means that this guy has no brain. If I talk to you, this one, I express that you have no brain. Of course, this one may be offended, may be hurt by your expression. Okay? Before going to abroad, you have to learn the culture where you want to go. Okay. It is not only Japanese that have culture. Every nation, every people have their own culture that to be honored. Okay. The nature of human being is social being based on love and the desire of togetherness, which results in associative and cooperative existence. Huh? Nothing to do, nothing happened. Okay, okay. Oh, she's walking. She's learning to walk after being surgery. Well, this is my opinion. Moral should be relied upon in the legislative process. Again, I explained to you that moral here does not deal with sexual morality. No, that moral in this case deals with the sense of togetherness. For example, illegal logging. Illegal logging. Illegal logging. Illegal logging is immoral. Why? Because if there's illegal logging, there will be flood. Flood. This is moral. Making society harms it is immoral. Okay. Act contrary to the spirit of togetherness is immoral. Morals should be relied upon in the legislative process. In this case, I state that the law which is made by the legislature should not be discriminatory. Okay, should not be discriminatory. Not only in the legislative process, that, for example, local religion for a long time, local religions for a long time were discriminated. You know, for a long time, Indonesia only recognized 6 or 5 religions at a time. New order, a new order regime, only 5 religions were recognized: Christian, Catholic, Islam, Hindu, and Buddhism. Konghucu was not recognized at the time, and under Gus Dur administration, Konghucu is recognized, and under Megawati, Lunar New Year is holiday. You know, Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is Lunar New Year. Why Lunar New Year? Because it Chinese New Year is on the based on moon rather than sun. So lunar, not solar. You know that the our year, it is based on solar rotation. Okay, at a time, and then only 6 religions were recognized. Then at the when 2 or 3 years ago or 4 years ago, the Constitutional Court accepts local religions as religion. Okay, so the legislative process should be on moral. Law should reflect moral in the framework of its existential function. This is my idea, my standpoint. This is my standpoint. Law should reflect moral in the framework of its existential function. So if there is a regulation that does not reflect moral, to me it is not law. Discriminatory regulation, for example, it's not law. So minority like LGBT should be honored. Don't hate them. LGBT is a is a choice. but don't legalize homosexual marriage. No, it is against natural law. Because, like what I've told you just now, that the gays, two gays may be fencing, no, fencing. If it is so, statutes and law as a whole, sorry, if it is so, statutes and law as a whole will not contradict human nature. God creates us in different things. God creates us differently. We are different tribes, different races, different religions, but we are one. We are human beings. Okay. Sometimes my friend, my American friend, asks me, if it is equal, why God creates different different? There are many people who are black, white, and yellow. Well, it depends on God, because God is sovereign. God is sovereign. We cannot challenge God's sovereignty. God is sovereign. God is great. God is great. Okay. Well, now Hammurabi Code. You know Hammurabi? Hammurabi was the king of Sumerian or Babylonian. Babylonia, I guess. Babylon, the king of Babylon. I don't know. Perhaps it is in Sumer or in Akkadian. I don't know, but it is in English. In my bosom, I have carried the people out of the land of Sumer and Akkad. They become, sorry, they have become abundantly rich under my guardian spirit. I bear their charge in peace, and by my profound wisdom I protect them. That the strong may not appear as awake, and so to give justice to the orphan and the widow, I have inscribed my precious words on my monument. He deemed himself to be God. Well, do you believe his statement? In my bosom, I have carried the people of the land of Sumer and Akkad. They have become abundantly rich under my guardian spirit. Oh. I bear their charge in peace, and by my profound wisdom, I protect them. That the strong may not oppress the weak, and so to give justice to the orphan and the widow, I have inscribed my precious words on my monument. Do you believe in it? I don't. I don't believe in it. Okay. Well, there's a case. A sub-district had ordered to disperse fund allocated for national disaster in a bid to lend aid to people who suffered from earthquake without referring to standard procedure designated by the region. Okay. You know sub-district? Okay. In Surabaya. Surabaya is municipality. Surabaya is municipality or mayoralty. Our mayor until now is Ibu Risma. I don't know who will be her successor. Well, I don't have to campaign because it is not allowed to campaign, but I have a choice. Until now, our mayor is Ibu Risma. And under the municipality, there's sub-district. Sub-district. A sub-district had in Bahasa called Pak Camat. Sub-district had in Bahasa is called Camat. Okay? Camat or Camat. Camat. Sorry. Camat is different. Camat is a sub-district head. Then the head of village, please be careful. If it is in a regency, the village is headed by Pak Lurah. Sorry, not Pak Lurah. Kepala desa. But in Surabaya, there are some group of kampung is headed by Pak Lurah. Pak Lurah or Bu Lurah. So in regency area, it's called Kepala Desa instead of Lurah. It's different. Also, district head, Pak Camat, ordered to disperse funds allocated for national disaster in a bid to lend aid to people who suffered from earthquake without referring to standard procedure designated by the region. You know, region. It is in a regency area instead of municipality. It is in regency area instead of municipality. Regency is had by a region. Okay. Province is had by the governor. It was done because the idea is to allow to everyone is right, notwithstanding that the order administratively violates the designated law. To me, it is justice. What about if the disbursement is made before after approval from the region, how long should the sub-district head wait for approval from the region? It may take it may take 2 or 3 hours. And what about the casualties, the victims? Okay, so the sub-district had dispersed fund without approval from the region. Of course, it is violation of the designated law. It violates the designated law. But what is the demand is higher. Approval from the region or to have the casualties. Which one is in your mind is more urgent? Okay, this is justice. Perhaps to create justice, someone should violate law. To create justice, someone should violate law. But justice is moral. Justice is moral. If law is not based on moral, it is not law. If such a regulation gives no discretion to the administrative organ, no, it is not law. Because if the sub-district had waited for the approval of the region, it will take a long time, and the casualties may be higher. Okay, have you got it? Any question on it? Okay, I'm drinking. I'm drinking over and over. Just plain water. Plain water. Fresh water or plain water. It is not drinking beverage, alcoholic beverage. No. Any question on that? Before going on? Any question, please? Okay, no question. Can I go on? Okay, yes. This one. It is only procedure. It's procedure. But helping the casualties is moral. They can hear it. Your word, Bella. So in this case, moral, which is appropriateness, prevails over procedure. Okay, this is my opinion. When there's a contradiction between what is moral and what is procedure to me, moral um, should be firstly handed. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Yes or no? Is it clear? One day, long time ago, long time ago, when I give lecture in English, long time ago, before I'm a professor at a time. Well, I have practiced my English since senior high school, I guess. Long time ago, I give lecture in English, and one of them asked me. Well, I asked them, "Is it clear?" And one of them answered, "Remong-remong, sir." What do you mean by remong-remong? Remong-remong, sir. In this case, moral, which is appropriateness, prevails over procedures. Well, now there's fire in the village. Fire. You know fire? You don't. What is it? What is it? Now in Pasal there's something like that. What do you call it? What do you call it? Fire troop. Fire troop. Fire troop. Fire troop in Dutch. In Dutch, it is called brandweer. Brandweer. Brand is fire. Why in the residential area sometimes there's also what we call brandgang. Brandgang. Brandgang means brand for fire. The alley for fire. Brandgang. There's a fire in a populated village. Umil. Call. Call ya. No, 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 no. Sorry. My dog is going out. My dog is going out. There's a fire in a populated village. So there's a fire in a populated village. The head of the village, this is what I say, Kepala Desa, not Pak Lurah. Pak Lurah is in municipality. The head of the village instructed to destroy two houses that located at left and right sides of the burning house. Sorry. Well, why is it? There's a fire in a populated village. The head of the village instructed to destroy two houses that located at left and right sides of the burning house. Does the head of village violate ownership rights of the owner of the houses? Because two houses that located at left and right sides of burning house are destroyed. I ask you whether or not that the head of the village, violates the ownership rights of the owners of the houses. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. The head of the village violates the rights of the owners of the house. Okay. But what happened if these houses were not destroyed? What happened if the houses were not destroyed? You can think about that the entire village may be burned. Okay. So if the two houses were not destroyed, so the entire houses in a village may be burned. Okay. So the two houses should be demolished. Well, this is the question. Okay, this question becomes a topic of discussion on Monday, next Monday. Okay. Is the order of the head of the village against law? The topic, this question becomes a topic of discussion next Monday. Before explaining further about the idea of law, we will discuss about it. Okay, please take note on that. Okay. Now, the signification of Hammurabi Code. In the state of peace, people live abundantly. In the state of peace, people live abundantly. But it is time, like in Indonesia. Indonesia is relatively peace, but because of coronavirus, people cannot live abundantly because of coronavirus. So in Hammurabi time, there was no coronavirus. Okay. The strong shall not oppress the weak. This means that there's no abuse of, not abuse of right, but abuse of opportunity. Well, I guess that everybody has good conscience. Those who are rightful are granted their rights. People are protected by the authority. In the state of peace, people live abundantly. The strong shall not oppress the weak. Those who are rightful are granted their rights. People are protected by the authority. This is my question. Did it really happen? What do you think? Again, drink and drink. Clean water. Okay, we drink together like toast. Like toast. Did it really happen? To me, it seemed to exaggerate. You know, exaggerate. Well, something like hyperbolistic idea. Hyperbole, you know, hyperbole? Hyperbolistic idea. Okay. To me, it seemed to exaggerate. Actually, in fact, in whatever small and abundant society, differences still exist, which may lead to conflict. Actually, in reality, that's the same thing. In reality, in fact, actually, in whatever small and abundant society, differences still exist, which may lead to conflict. Even in a family, you may conflict with your siblings. You know siblings, brothers and sisters, sibling. Perhaps you may conflict with your siblings. Well, perhaps you may conflict with your parents. It is natural. But don't conflict with God. Don't conflict with God. Don't be disappointed with God. Well, I'm disappointed with God. You know, last week my wife fell down, and she suffered from column femoris fracture, and she had to undergo surgery in the hospital. I'm not disappointed with God. Well, I'm sad. Yes, I was sad, but I think thankful with God. God has a good plan for us. Be patient. Well, in hospital, I serve my wife every day. She serves me. That in hospital, in addition to the nurses, I also serve her her demands. This is okay. This is I mean the lesson that I have to study. Please don't be disappointed with God. Don't conflict with God. Conflict in human being is natural. It's natural. The differences shall be managed in such a way that a harmonious situation may be created. The differences shall be managed in such a way that a harmonious situation may be created. This is the idea of law. You know choir? Choir, you know choir? There are many types of voices. Soprano, you know soprano? A lady's voice, pitch is very high. The second is alto. It is also woman's voice. And my voice is tenor. Well, yeah, my voice is high. But high for a man, not for a woman. When I say, tanah ku tak kulupakan, engkau ku banggakan. It is very high. But it is still tenor and baritone. You know, every participant of the choir sing different notation. Do mi sol, for example. Re mi fa. But if they sing together, it is good. It's beautiful, right? Have you ever heard choir? So when you are inaugurated as students of Erlangga University, you know, in the orientation study, you were taught hymn Erlangga, right? Did you learn hymn Erlangga? Di timur Jawa Twipa. Did you learn that?
Yes.
Yeah. But everyone has different voice, different type of voice. Di timur Jawa Twipa, maka engkau bertakhta. You have to memorize until then. You you don't have to forget it. Never forget Erlangga hymn. Okay? When I was a student, I was a senior, I always doubt the junior to sing Erlangga hymn and any other songs at the time when I was student. So you have to memorize the lyrics of Erlangga hymn. Even when I was inaugurated as a professor, there are some there was a choir sang hymn Erlangga. Okay, you know, this is choir, and in a choir there are some different voices. But if they sing together, it results in good melody. Okay, I like a song composed or written by Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney was a member of or former member of the Beatles. Paul McCartney, who is still alive. I don't know, Ringo Starr, whether he's still alive or he has died. But John Lennon has died. George Harrison has died. Paul McCartney wrote this song in his lyric. Ivory and ebony bring melody in my piano. Have you seen piano or organ? Organ, a keyboard. Have you ever seen that? There are two types. There are two colors of tooths. You know, ivory is the white one, and ebony is the black one. Suppose a piano has no the black one, has no ebony. Is it a piano? Ebony. Is it a piano? If a piano consists only ivory, is it a piano? No. The ebony, mostly ebony is for minor rhythm, minor tone. I mean, ivory is for major. Okay, if you, for example, if there is no ebony, I can play if I turn to minor tone, like Al Pasa, for example, or Spanish song. There are many Spanish songs and minors, or Malay song. It's not dangdut, but Malay. Aku pulang dari rantau. It is minor, major, minor, major. Okay. So Paul McCartney is right when he wrote that ivory and ebony bring harmony in my piano. Okay. So we are different, but we may be harmonious. we may be in harmony. Okay, this is so. I don't believe in Hammurabi's statement, of course, because in reality there's always conflict. But how to manage conflict that it does not lead to a chaos? This conflict should be managed in such a way. To me, to my opinion, conflict is part of human right. What I say is real. What I say is real. Conflict is a part of human right. Sorry, human life. Conflict is a part of human life. If you don't want to get conflict, please die. Please die. If you want to avoid conflict eternally, please die. Okay. As long as someone lives, he or she encounters conflict. There's no way to avoid the conflict. Unresolved conflict may bring about chaos. Bring about. Well, I have many vocabularies. Bring about is result in, bring about, make, create, whatever you want to say. But in writing, I think we have to use many different words in to make a reader enjoy my writing. This is my philosophy as a reader friendly. Reader friendly. I write some books and I try to make it reader friendly. This is the last book that I have written, and it has been only published last Friday when I was in the hospital, and I was informed that this book is published. Legal theory. So I have to make the reader enjoy, because the substance is hard. The substance is hard. Conflict shall be resolved by considering conflicting parties' respective interests. Yes. Sometimes that should be compromised. Sometimes that should be compromised. So every conflicting parties' interest should be taken into account. The conflict between the public prosecutor, which is the representative of the state, and the accused, it's conflict, should be resolved. Who resolves the conflict? The judge. The state's interest, which is represented by the public prosecutor, and the accused interests are taken into account, are considered. So the witness brought by the accused should also be heard. Should also be heard proportionately with the witnesses brought by the public prosecutor. So that should be what we call a fair trial. Fair trial. So when you study criminal law, you may find the word due process of law. Due process of law. This fair trial. So, the conflicting interests of the parties should be considered. Just as different types of voices in a choir may produce sweet sound if they are arranged by a conductor, so differences in society may result in a society of beautiful mind if the differences are handled properly. Okay. Okay. Sometimes in the choir, those who have baritone voice do not sing each time. Oh, la, 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 only like that. They know their portion. They know their portion. Conflict in society may arise because there's a member of society wants his portion more than another, or violates another right. It is a conflict. Oh, just as different types of voices in the choir may produce sweet sound if they are arranged by a conductor, so differences in a society may result in a society of beautiful mind. Beautiful mind. If the differences are handled properly. Beautiful minds, tolerable. Beautiful mind. We understand each other. This is my experience with Pak Jaitun, Professor Jaitun, the former dean. I'm Christian. Pak Jaitun is devout Muslim. I'm a member of GMNI. Pak Jaitun was a member of HMI. There are many differences of us, but we are one in Jaitun and partner Lovem. Why? We can arrange. We know the different differences, but we have some similarities. We tolerate each other. Okay. He doesn't eat pork. So if there's a party, well, or if we eat together, I don't go to Chinese restaurant, of course. I have to honor him. Even in Bali, what is in my favorite food in Bali is babi guling. But if I go with Pak Jaitun to Bali, well, I have to suppress my desire to have babi guling. And this is beautiful mind, This is beautiful mind. There's no suspect to another. Beautiful mind, The differences are handled properly. So, if I invite my colleagues to come to my house for celebration, for example, well, of course, uh, well, this is an experience. Long time ago, I think in 10 years ago, I'm not sure, 10 years or 12 years ago, my wife and I invited graduate students to have lunch at my house. Graduate students. I mean that those who are in the master's program. And my wife provided nasi rawon at that time. Nasi rawon. Rawon is made of beef. Okay. But one of the students is Balinese, is Hindu. She doesn't eat beef. Well, my wife provided her with nasi kuning without beef. So we have to tolerate. Okay, this is beautiful mind. when is beautiful mind created? When the differences are handled properly. I drink again. Okay, Erpandu, you also drink again. This is toast. Okay, so conflict should be managed in such a way to avoid chaos. Peace and order Well, any question on that, please? Because we still have time. No question? Is it clear? Is it not remang-remang? Blur. Remang-remang is blur. You know, blur is remang-remang. Okay? No question? Well, I think I have to terminate this class, and I see you again tomorrow, but in introduction to Indonesian law. Okay? See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Hello, Gabriel.
Hello.
And healthy.
Sorry?
Safe and healthy.
Thank you, Prof.
God bless you.
Amen.
Okay.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
Have a-
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prof.
sir. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
You too.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay. Thank you.